Hello, and welcome to another Monday Morning Nuggets episode. It doesn't have to be a Monday or a morning as you're listening to this, but the name is what the name is. I'm Becca, and here I share quick tips to help reshape your mindset and reinforce a healthy perspective. Side note, a healthy perspective is key, especially when dealing with challenges and staying motivated to keep doing your best. So sit back, enjoy the episode, take notes, and let's dig deep. So, today's topic is sometimes no, just no. And let me start by saying that I completely understand the fears attached to saying no. We're social beings, so there's a fear of hurting other people's feelings, missing out on opportunities, or hindering ourselves from fostering stronger relationships with people. But sometimes, to prioritize what's important to you, to focus on more productive things, to shield yourself from negative energy, to protect your to protect yourself from inappropriate situations, to guard your mental health, and to just not do something that you don't feel like doing. You must learn the art of saying no and not feeling guilty about it. It's time to start saying no to things that drain your energy, waste your time, or do not add enough value to be worth the risk. So, and I'm not only referring to other people, even saying no to yourself can be equally as difficult. But the truth is, you don't need to open yourself up to everything and everyone. And saying no to things that aren't beneficial to you is a form of self love, self respect, and to a large extent shows a deeper level of self discipline. Because not every pleasure is good for you, not every opportunity will elevate your life, not every activity will yield positive results. So you need to learn to properly assess a situation and draw lines where necessary. Now, when it comes to saying no to others, yeah, that's the that's the that's the hard one, the tricky one. But even this shows a level of self-preservation and self-love. I said self-preservation, not selfishness. So don't use saying no as an excuse to just be. Let me not insult anybody. Just don't don't use saying no as an excuse to be useless. Sorry, if you hear dogs barking, please pardon the background noise. I don't know what's pinching them this morning. Yeah, sorry, back to what I was saying. So, setting boundaries is saying no and drawing the line. And a few questions here. Why do we feel the need to have everyone like us? Why do we feel like we do not want to rock the boat? Why would we rather? Setting boundaries is saying no and drawing the line. Have you ever wondered? Okay, no, I encourage you to ask yourself this question. Why do you feel the need to have everyone like you, or at least everyone around you? Why do you feel like you don't want to rock the boat? Why do you feel like you'd rather be a doormat than stand up for yourself? Probe deeper into why this is important to you. And let's address the issue from source, because I can encourage you to say no, I can encourage you to set boundaries, but if there's no foundational motivation to do that, in less than a week, in less than a couple of days, you'll be back to factory setting. So let's probe deeper into why and then solve the problem from within. So I understand that as human beings, or it's human nature to want community, to want to build strong bonds, but it's also human nature for people to keep pushing you till you stop them. It's human nature for people to keep asking for things or asking till you stop them. And it doesn't mean they don't respect boundaries or they can't understand the concept of boundaries. It just means that you haven't set those boundaries yet. And the funny thing is, as much as we worry about what other people will think when we say no, when we don't do things the way they want it, most people are so preoccupied with the things going on in their lives that they don't really think about you that much. Yeah, it might cross their minds once in a while, but it's really not that deep because they're more focused on how to get ahead in their lives. And once you say no, they move on to plan B and life goes on. So even yourself, times that people have said no or you've asked for something and they've been like, oh, sorry, I can't give that to you. In that moment, yeah, it feels uncomfortable. You got a bit bitter, but you moved on to the next person. You moved on to plan B. You moved on to another solution to that problem. You moved on to another person for that project. You didn't sit down worrying about this one person and thinking that, if this person doesn't do this, yeah, that's the end of the world. That's the end of it all. No. So extend yourself that same grace and realize that when you say no, people will move on and you'll be happier for it. Yeah, back to what I was saying. So, you cannot avoid the inevitable guilt that comes with saying no. It's just always going to be there, but after a while, you just get used to it. And I think that sense of guilt starts to clear away, especially when you start to see the benefits of setting those boundaries. Now, I know this is going to be extremely difficult for people that are non-confrontational or people that are easily bullied to stand up for themselves, or people that are less assertive. I understand it might be your personality type. I get it. I'm not going to force you to do something that even sets your mind in a very uncomfortable whatever. Yeah. But for such people, for non-confrontational people, my advice would be you have to be more intentional in this instance. And how do you do that? You avoid situations where you won't be able to stand up for yourself. You avoid having conversations that you're not comfortable with, and you kind of meander your way out of sticky situations where people will keep asking you for things, or people will say things that upset you, but then you can't really speak up and say, oh, sorry, I don't like that, or oh, no, I didn't like that you did that, or I don't want to go to this place. So kind of try to avoid all those situations for the time being. And okay, I'll speak more on this in a bit. So if a conversation is going in a direction you don't like, just change the topic. We don't have to talk about what this other person wants to talk about. Just change the topic. Now, this is extremely important. Setting boundaries and saying no does not automatically mean you should be mean, uncouth, or downright rude. There are so many polite ways to express yourself without being... Why does this word keep popping into my head? But then I'm not going to use it. I don't want to insult anybody. So no's are generally uncomfortable, but they don't have to be distasteful. So how do you politely say no? So I have 3 suggestions on how you can try to adopt this into your daily life. So one is a 3-prone suggestion. So 1, when someone brings an opportunity, starts a conversation, or wants you to do something or go somewhere with them, you start by thanking them for that opportunity, thanking them for wanting you to go to that place, thanking them for bringing up conversation, maybe a personal conversation, or you thank them for, being so concerned about this for you, or thinking you'll be good for, anyway, just thank them for that thing first. So you're acknowledging them, you're acknowledging what they are bringing to you, and then you say no. You can say no in different ways. Oh no, I don't think I want to do this. No, I don't think I will be going to this place. Oh no, I don't think I want to talk about this. and give a brief reason afterwards. So don't just say no and be quiet. That's a bit rude. Give a brief reason. Oh no, I don't think I'll be going to this place because I have other stuff to do, or I had made prior plans. Or oh, I don't think I'll be taking up this opportunity right now. There's so much on my plate. Oh, I don't want to have this conversation right now. It makes me a bit uncomfortable. Oh, I don't want to talk about this right now. Oh, and you change the topic. So you're making it obvious that it's not about them. It's not about what they're saying or what they're proposing. It's about you and where you are now. So you're setting boundaries, making yourself a priority, making your needs heard, and then just stopping there. Now, it's important that you strike a balance between giving a brief reason and over explaining yourself. You do not owe anybody any explanation except you want to give them, but don't over explain yourself, even though you're just going to kill the whole thing, and they will lose focus on the no that you said and be more interested in this long story that you're giving that is pointless. So that's one. Two, you can offer an alternative with something more convenient for you and make it suggestive, not insistent. So for example, you say, oh, I can't do A, but can we do it I can't do A now, can we do it at a later time? Oh, I don't want to have this conversation now, please can we move it to so and so time? Oh, I don't want to go to this place now, can we make it this other day because this and this and this? Or in this case, you don't even have to give a reason. You just give an alternative and make it suggestive. You'll be like, oh, does that work for you? Is that okay for you? Even when they say no, you'll be like, oh, but I really can't do this now. And just move on. Now, to the third thing, I know that saying no to people close to you is one of the hardest things, especially because it can easily be taken the wrong way. Now, as a Nigerian, it's like boundaries don't exist in our vocabulary because it's often seen as disrespect or disregard or selfishness, especially within family circles. So you need to tread lightly on this. And my own suggestion in this instance, I don't have any trick to it, is that you start saying no to people further away, say strangers, acquaintances. You get comfortable with saying no to other people, setting boundaries while you're building that resilience, building that wall up of knowing what is appropriate for you and what isn't, setting boundaries. So you work your way in. You start from the people far away and then slowly work your way in. And when you start to see the benefits of saying no with people outside, it will be easier to justify why you need to say no to the people inside. Because the people closest to you, as much as they are the ones who would bring their necks out for you, they are also the ones who could hurt you the most. So keep that in mind. Start slowly with people further away so it gets easier to say no. And as you start to see the power in saying no, it gets easier to adopt with people closer to you. Now, the reason why I think saying no is really, really important, especially in today's world and with all the things happening and just adulting in general and trying to figure ourselves out and make the best decisions for ourselves, is because life is already so challenging. There are so many things to tackle, so many things to juggle, and it's time you started choosing your battles wisely. Not everything needs to be done, not every place needs to be gone to, not every conversation needs to be had. Just guard yourself where possible. Not every opportunity is for you. And I'll end with this quote or something Oprah Winfrey said. Oh, it's been a while since I heard Oprah Winfrey. Everyone just calls her Oprah. Anyway, so something Oprah Winfrey said that kind of stood out to me. She said, just because you have all of these demands on your time and on you doesn't mean you have to say yes. You get to decide because you're the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. Full stop. So I hope you have a blessed week ahead and you get to choose your battles wisely by harnessing the power in saying no, just no. But please don't be rude. Don't be an a-hole. Don't be mean. Don't be nasty just because you're trying to set boundaries. Don't be a snob. Don't be uncouth. Just don't be, I don't know, because it can be annoying. So this thing of not wanting to insult anybody, because I've seen instances where people claim they're setting boundaries, but then they're just downright rude and disrespectful. And I've seen people that have set boundaries and it hasn't rocked any boats. People respect them for being honest. It just doesn't have to be nasty. So let's do better and be better. So, like I said, that was an unnecessary tangent at the end. But anyway, I've said it. So I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. And yeah, talk to you some other time.